This is the Towsley Canyon trailhead, and I'll be on here for I think it's around 3/4 of a mile, and it'll split and I'll have a choice of which trail I want to go. Feels really good, sunny. And this is the other side of Towsley Canyon. The other, across the fire road, there's other trails, Taylor Loop, Elder Loop. And those are, they have a little bit of an incline, but those are good running trails, or if you're not accustomed to trails. But this is the trailhead leading to the main two trails. Here is where you make your decision. You came up this trailhead, and then you see the trail up there. So you have to decide if you want to go that way. That's the Don Mullally Loop trail, and over here is the View Loop. Okay, and you see where it says 4.3. This is a really good hike. Beautiful, challenging. By the time you're all done with it, you've gone about 6 miles. And they're not really loops. This one is about 2.3 when all is said and done. Also, pretty hike, great views, and challenging in spots. But the loop is actually, if you consider the trailhead and the fire road, there's a paved fire road by the ranger station. When you come down off of this trail and you come down off of that one, you come through the canyon. It's beautiful, but you end up at the paved fire road, and then that will take you back down to the parking lot. But I'm going to do this one, and I'm sure I'm going to be real slow up through around that bend. It gets a little rugged too. See how my back holds up. But if I'll just go as slow as I have to go to complete the trail. And next time I'm down here, I'm going to do that one regardless of how my back feels. Okay, finished up the first incline, came around the bend, up the second little leg of incline, and then it drops down. And we'll go around this bend and then follow that trail all the way up and around. But wow, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful, perfect. So yeah, this will continue to just drop slightly. I've run this trail. I've done Spartan training on this trail, where I'd go 1/4 mile running and then stop, and then do push-ups or burpees, mountain climbers, and then get up and go another 1/4 mile. And even if the 1/4 mile ended me on an incline, still stop, do some stuff. It's pretty, but yeah, so up and around. Okay, we're up here. We came up all of that, and we're up here around this bend. And Yeah, this will curve around and it'll go up more. And you can go up here and then at this joint keep going up, or you can cross over here and you'll come over that crest and it'll drop you back down and you'll end up over by the parking lot. But that is the 5 right there, and this is the old road down there, storage place. I used to live over there, but yeah, we'll have a better look when we get up a little higher. But it's gorgeous, and you can't even really tell. All this was burned. You can't even really tell. Grasses, the shrubs, scrub and all that's growing back. But we're heading up there, and we're going to go around that and head and keep going up. That is Sticky Monkey. When all of this entire shrub will be covered in it. It's so pretty. But anyway, we're almost up here at this this switchback, and here's where you can make a choice to go that way and then head down over and end up at the parking lot, or continue on going up. So we're going to go up. Okay, we are at the rise. Came up around that bend, and then you get to this small landing where you can choose again which way you want to go. If you want to get the full loop, you go that way. If you go up here, you can connect with that other trail that goes down over the mountain, and we'll take you down to the parking lot. I sometimes come up, I have in the past, and just to get a good view. Okay, but this is not the highest point, but that road is Calgrove, and that rooftop is where I used to live. That is the 5. This is the old road, and you can see the 5 up there. And you see the trail. This is where I just came up. See the trail over there? Start here and follow it. And it kind of loops back around. You know, you can't see all of it. Come here, loops up here, comes up here until you get right there. And then if you want, at this point, this is where you would pick up the trail right here and take you on down, and you'll end up over by the parking lot. But we're going to do the full loop over there. But I got to grab my other stick. And let's go get back on our path. I noticed coming up this incline, my SI joint and my surrounding tissue on the left side of the spine is hurting coming up that last little bit. So here's where I have to just really focus on keeping my hips, my abs tight, and taking sort of like marching steps to get up here. Really small marching steps, so I don't shift those hips too much. And then when I get to let's see, that's the fire road. And that's one of the other trails I was telling you about. Taylor and Elder. And they come out right there. But all right, up we go. So this is where I just came up. Right here. And that is another just little platform to look over. There aren't any trails that sprout off of there. The one straight across will reconnect with this trail down there. But on a hot day, this is a nice spot if you need to stop and drink some water. There was a branch. This branch spread out all the way over here. And I used to do like toes to branch and some chin-ups and just goof around on that branch and try to get a little bit of a workout. And me and my granddaughter have climbed this tree, my daughter. But that's a pit stop. It's not a hot day, so we don't need a pit stop. And then you just continue on, come past that tree, and you head up this way. There's the ranger station, and you can sort of see people walking over there. But that's the fire road that goes to the other part of the canyon. And right there you see a little bit of the dam. But we're going up here. This is a nice picturesque spot. Here's where we just came up. I'm just gonna leave this on while we go this part. Not a whole lot in bloom. Of course, some sage. Where we came from. I mean, turn that off, but anyway, just keep on going this way. My nose always starts running. And around this next little bend is the summit. I'm not sure what I don't remember what the elevation is. I'll have to look it up. But this is it. Highest point. And another little spot to look out. Then you start your decline. But this see where the trail says go this way. My daughter and I went that way. The sign was knocked over. And we ended up way up there, and we, beyond that, we were up extremely high. But here's the decline. It's pretty. It's a type of algae, like a mushroom. Seashell, I think they're called. Aren't they pretty though? Looks like this one burned. But I stood under this tree one time. I started hiking, and I get to about up there, and it started hailing. I mean, boom. And then I went from that tree to this tree, and then just stood under this one until the hail passed. And then it just started raining. It was so cold too. Boy, the temperature dropped crazy. Could see my breath by the time I got down to the bottom. But there was a day going on the other Towsley Loop that I changed my shirt 3 times. You know, I was in a tank top, and then I put on a jacket, and then a hat, and a sweatshirt. So here we are, kind of a rapid decline. I have a few switchbacks, but it's pretty much just a rapid all downhill from here. You can see the dam, the fire road heading into the canyon. It's really beautiful. I think next weekend I'm going to do Manzanita, Placerita Canyon. And then back to Red Rock to do some more exploring inside the formations. And you can see the other trail. You can actually see somebody on the trail. That's part of Taylor Elder. It goes around, pew, like that. That's on the other side of the fire road. There's all kinds of trails around here. One trail is further down the old road. Gorgeous. But then I got lost. Was down there. Oh, birds. I got lost, and was just kind of walking aimlessly, just figuring at some point I'm going to come out somewhere. It was a hot day though, but somebody in like a little sports car came up that sandy fire road, turned around, came back. He said, "You need a ride down?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I'm not even sure where I'm at." I said, "Sure." So he gave me a ride down. It was like, God must have sent him, because there's nobody going up there. He was scouting it for a car commercial, and just happened to be there. But man, was I way out of my way. I was down by, there's a shooting range off of the old road. That's where we came out, and he had to ride me all the way up the old road to get to my car, which was, just maybe a mile or so down from this parking lot at this trail. But yeah, that was crazy, and I was out of water and everything. So, you live and learn. I've done that a couple of times. And learn the hard way. I got lost on, what trail was that? It's to the highest point in Santa Monica Mountains, Mount Allen. And coming down, got lost, ended up on the wrong side of the island, or the mountain. Thank God somebody was sunbathing. She gave me a ride over the mountain, back to my car. But live and learn, I learned a lot about those. Like when I'm first learning how to do a trail, to kind of do much more exploring, take a map, let people know where I'm at. No joke getting up here in these mountains. And in these mountains, there's a lot of snakes in the summertime. There were some black bear cubs over on the other trail, the view loop. Cougars, lots of deer. Lots of stuff. So you have to, be alert. And if you're just learning these trails, of course, you really shouldn't go by yourself. I've always gone by myself. But I love the company. Every time I've had company, it's a lot more fun. For sure. You're not really thinking about how many miles you're putting under your boots. But this is an interesting part of the trail. It looks like they've cut... Oh, they cut this out. And this one had, oh my goodness, some giant burls. It was quite interesting. But it was rotting. So that's probably why they cut it out. And there it is. See the burls on the far side. If you chop that piece of wood and you clean it up, make a coffee table, sell it for a couple $1,000s. But you can see how close we are. There's the ranger station. That's how fast this trail declined. Every time I hit this part of the trail, there's usually a lot more wildlife. Rabbits, birds chirping, lizards, and so it seems really quiet right now. I guess because they're not sure, like, it's going to be cold again in 5 hours. But there's also a lot of stuff that blooms here too. When the time is right. And you see these curl. When it gets hot, to preserve the fluid in the leaf and in the stem, so the birds know that. That's how they can survive months and months and months without rain. There's turtles supposedly down here in this little creek. It's a runoff from the canyon. Boy, and is that a sight, the canyon, when there's a lot of rain. I should come down here next time. But here we are. Where's the sign? Right here. We came up the other way. It's the Don Mullally. And then ranger station. You can have parties and picnics out here. Looks like hooves. I wouldn't take my horse up there. That ground's so unstable. Here's some water. It's pretty. But you see where they're going? That will take you into the canyon and the switchback side of the view loop. And then see where those people are? Taylor Loop. And you get, about a mile in and it'll break off, and then you got Elder Loop. But there's not a whole lot of water coming through. Or I'd go into the canyon and check it out. But it's not worth it. And it's about a mile and a half from here into the canyon. I used to jog and jog back. Anyway, here's the fire road. So this is the fire road that will take you all the way back to the parking lot. And anywhere throughout, of course, these on the trails, mountains, you'll find a lot of interesting rocks. There's been shells found, fish bones. Every so often there are people, I forget where they were from, but they study the tar pits. When you take the larger loop, you hit a few bubbling tar pits, and then you pass other bubbling tar pits that you don't go near. But they're interesting because they come out, they study the tar pits, they're always bubbling, sometimes more active than others, and they have found fish bones and shells and remnants of ocean life. And from what I understand, this was all how many millions of years ago underwater. But the tar pits still tend to bring stuff up. These are lizard holes, not snake holes. Don't let anybody tell you those are snake holes. And mustard weed. So there's the fire road, and on that side of the parking lot behind this tree is where I point out a couple of shortcuts that you could break off and just kind of come down and end up at the parking lot. You'd be right there. But we're winding up back to the parking lot, and this over here on the right, that's where we started the trailhead. That's where I first went in. And I was probably a half a mile in when I started to film. But that's the trailhead is 1.9 miles to the start of the view loop, and then it's another 4.3 miles, I believe, the loop itself. And then you add the fire road to it, come through the canyon, come out the fire road. And I think all told, I have to go back. It's been a while since I've done that one. But see, there's the parking lot. We're down here eye level with the 5 in the old road. So the true test for my back will be when I sit down. So that is that. We're leaving Towsley. I sat down, yeah, definitely my joint and the surrounding tissue starts to hurt around the spine. But I think if I sit long enough, I'll get up and it'll be all right. Like I won't feel any pain. So we'll see. So now I'm at Vaughn's. Gonna go get a piece of chicken and some sparkling water for the ride home. And you know, for that trail, particularly the Don Mullally trail, whether you decide to go up the switchback side where the sign is, it says Don Mullally, and you cross the water, the little bit of water right there, or you go up the way that I went up, it's rugged. You know, there are parts of that trail that's rugged. I've been on much more rugged trails, for sure. The one by the short trail down by the Griffith Observatory is very rugged. Devil's Punch Bowl, the short trail is very rugged. So you should always hike in boots anyway. Tennis shoes, unless you are going on a flat surface that's paved, or you know it's dirt or whatever and it's not going to slip under your sole. But you should always have boots, and especially in Towsley Canyon. Well, any trail I've ever been on, I've seen people twist ankles coming up the back way, you know, where the road, it looked, you could actually tell on that trail it was getting a little rugged as we came down the decline. Wear boots. Get a pair of hiking boots. And don't make your first hike your last hike, you know. I've seen that happen. I've seen people go out in tennis shoes and underestimate the length of time it was going to take. The actual, stamina that it might take, and how thirsty you're going to get. Even on a cold day, you're going to get thirsty on these trails. So I used to be a trail ambassador when I lived here in Santa Clarita. I think there were 3 of us, and because I hiked every day. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had to stop and apply first aid to people. People were frozen on the trails because there was a snake stretched out across it sunning. There was lack of water. So even if it's your first trail and it doesn't look hard, and someone may have said to you, oh, that's easy, you should always have a backpack. Some basic essentials are a blade, like a sharp blade, some rope. But I guess on your, I don't know, rope has come in handy for me. It's helped me an awful lot. I actually was able to save some people that slipped down into a ravine at Devil's Punch Bowl because I had some rope. But get hiking boots, wool socks, a couple bottles of water on this short trail should be enough. And if you can get yourself a Swiss Army knife, this is the Sierra Club sent this to me. But always have something sharp, with you. On that trail, basically you just need the water and your boots, and make sure your phone's fully charged, and a map, because it does break off a lot of places that goes to nowhere. At some point, these little break off of trails, you're going to get confused if you don't stay on the correct trail, and you're going to see where there's a lot of water runoff, and you're going to confuse that for a trail. But if you're an experienced hiker, but you've never been on Towsley, this trail is going to be fun. The Don Mullally is just a short, fun trail, but it is still rocky, so you still have to just be careful you don't twist an ankle, and that's where the ankle high hiking boots come in handy. And if you're going to wear the hiking boots, get there's insoles, shock absorbent insoles, and wool socks. And you can never bring too much water. But that's fun. Next time we'll do the I'll do the view loop. There's so much more to see. Tar pits and runoffs and the canyon and all that stuff is a lot of fun. Definitely got a plan for that one, you know, if packing stuff for that one. Anyway, Towsley Canyon, Don Mullally Loop.